Families of transgender kids across Southern California are running into new problems when it comes to getting gender-affirming health care.
That's right. Clinics that once provided these services are closing. Policies are becoming more restrictive, and doctors, they are facing more scrutiny. A new report from LAist shines a light on what's happening and why. Producer Kevin Tidmarsh from LAist joins us now this morning with more on that. Welcome, Kevin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It is our pleasure. First of all, Kevin, can you talk about the impact on our local families? How much harder has it become for them to find care?
Yeah, what I've been hearing is that it's just become so much more difficult for people to access this care. You know, it's a very specialized form of care. People spend it's like any specialty. It's like any healthcare specialty. You know, anyone who's had any experience probably knows what it's like. You know, when you find like a great doctor, when you find your doctor that you know you go back to. And many people had that at Children's Hospital LA, which closed over the summer, and many people also had that at, the transgender clinic closed there over the summer. But also many people had that at other providers that have, you know, also moved to restrict their care and no longer offering this. And so families are running into roadblocks, they're running into terminated relationships with their healthcare providers, they're running into longer wait lists too. And another thing that people are running into is a lot of this care has gone underground, right? Especially with this increased scrutiny. So people aren't necessarily advertising, or they're not as public as they used to be. So there's sort of like an extra layer of difficulty when it comes to accessing this care.
It reminds me in some ways what has happened with abortion clinics in this country, where a number of them have closed because of new laws and things like that in some states, and other states now, you know, providing, and just kind of the chaos that can ensue for people looking for this type of care. I also wonder, you know, there seems to be so much misinformation about what these types of clinics actually do. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily understand. You know, it's when people hear gender-affirming care, they think surgeries or they think hormones. But that's not all that it encompasses. Actually, surgeries are very, very rare. It's not common at all for someone to be under the age of 19 or thereabouts and be having some kind of surgery. That's an extremely rare case that would happen. You know, it's also support services for the family. It's also, you know, like casework. It's you know, like people working with kids, trying to understand them at a very important stage in their development. And it's also therapy, not just for the kids, but also for the family, for the whole family as well. You know, these clinics aren't working necessarily just with the kids. The parents are supposed to be involved at every step of this process. Yeah. You know, it's a decision that every part of the family enters into. You know, so you know, there's lots and lots more that goes into it. And it's interesting you bring up the abortion aspect of it too, because that is something, I see a lot of parallels there too when it comes to, especially when it comes to the way that California in recent years has become sort of like a destination for a lot of people to seek out this kind of care. You see that happening with abortion too, of course. People traveling from out of state to access the health care that they want or need. And then you have these new restrictions put in place that the Trump administration has been trying to restrict care even in blue states for these things.
And funding restrictions.
Exactly, and funding restrictions, and that's created even more of a tightening, I would say, in the healthcare market. So it's even more difficult for people to access that care.
Yeah. Kevin Tidmarsh, thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
For a link to the full article at LAist, check out our website, kcalnews.com, and just click Seen on TV.